Hey, good evening. Dan Fitzpatrick here at StockMarketMentor.com, and it is Wednesday, May 20th. This is what we're looking at today. Could you guess? American Airlines. Now, I think it was their CEO. Typically, if anybody's going to put their foot in their mouth representing a company, it would be the CEO. Comes on CNBC and says, well, it's not like the guy was lying or anything. They're cutting prices to compete with low-cost carriers. I look at this and the airlines are just broken. This one had been, just look at this. Prior to today, you could say, oh, well, there's a triple top. Okay, well, you could say that. And of course, if you were a liar, you would say, well, I absolutely saw today's action coming. But you didn't. You just knew that we had hit 1, 2, really 3 different times. And if you're trading and shorting on this kind of a trade, I think that's really pretty presumptuous, because if you're shorting the stock, say right here, okay, you're assuming that the stock's going to break down here as opposed to move higher. You won't know until this stock breaks above 55. That's well above where you bought it. You won't know whether you're wrong or you just had kind of a really bad entry on a short because you got it near the bottom of the box versus the top. So you really don't know. But when you see this kind of move, a key breakdown, I would say, now maybe it's just me, but I would say 51.4 million shares traded in a day. That's a lot of money being whipped around by people. So, and this was all selling. This was not Billy Bob and Jethro's fish tackle and trading company selling their position in American Airlines. This is like, Fidelity and some insurance companies and pension funds hitting the eject button saying, oh crap. I think that's Denzel Washington, piloting the plane up in the front. And what's that vodka I smell on his breath? This is really, really bad stuff here. So here's the thing. It's bad if you're long, but it's not so bad if you're short. What I'm telling you is 2 things are going to happen tomorrow. One of 2 things are going to happen tomorrow. And neither one of them, wait for it, is this. Just not going to happen. That's not the way stocks trade, not when institutions are dumping them. Remember the 3-day rule that I talk about. The smart guys sell on the first day, the semi-smart guys sell on the second day, and the not-so-smart guys sell on the 3rd day. Now you can say, well, these were the smart guys here. Okay, fine, we can say that. But what I'm really saying is the smart guys start a move. The semi-smart guys see the move before the not-so-smart guys do. So by the time the lowest common denominator sees a move and takes action, it's actually time to be going in the opposite direction. And what I'm telling you is, I don't think this was the start of a move. There are plenty of airlines that were still up, doing just fine. Hawaiian, still moving up really nicely. Okay, JetBlue, also doing really well here. So that wasn't the start of the move yesterday. I would say today is the start of the move. So what I want you to do is look for one of 2 things, either a gap and then a continuing to fall, at which time I'd say I'll give you the clearance to go ahead and short the stock. If the stock gaps down and then starts to trade up a bit, watch for it to peak right around 45. That's the 200-day moving average, between 45 and 46. And if it does that, it's giving you a gift. You've got to respect the gift from the gods of Wall Street. If they throw one in your lap, you take it. And this is what I mean. If the stock starts to snap back because the CEO comes on and says, do you know what? I just had a bad pizza. Well, it was actually, I was riding up in first class, and I had one of their cacciatore chicken dinners, and it just set with me really, really bad. We're really not cutting prices. We're actually hoping that the low-cost carriers are going to raise their prices to compete with us because we're doing so well. Okay, if he says that, then you're going to get killed in your short. But if he doesn't say that, 2 things will happen. Number one, pigs playing flaming violins will not be flying out of my ears. And number two, you will have a good short entry and you'll have a great opportunity to sell this stock before it falls further. I'm telling you, and members, I go into this in a lot more detail in the strategy session, but this transportation breakdown is a really big deal. In a couple days, here's the 50-day moving average, here's the 200-day. In a couple days, you'll hear somebody come on CNBC, watch for it. You'll hear somebody come on and talk about a death cross in the 50 and the 200-day moving average, where the 50 crosses below the 200-day from after a pretty substantial uptrend. And I would say from here to here, going up 50% or so, that's a pretty substantial uptrend. So I'm really, really bearish on the market right now, simply because this break today in the transports is a big break. So let it be your big break. Look to short some of these airline stocks. Okay, members, I'm going over that in a lot more detail in the strategy session, so get over there now. And by the way, if you haven't tried a subscription to Stock Market Mentor, seriously, I want you to consider it. The first 30 days are on me. You can be in there for 30 days, and because I don't administer the accounts, I won't even know who you are or whether you're there or not, which means that I won't take it personally if you cancel after 30 days too. It's really okay. I just want you to try it out, and hopefully at the end of 30 days, whether you stick around or not, at least your trading will have improved, and that's why it is that I do what I do.